Hey internet. So if you know me, you know that it is no secret that I love Harry Potter. In fact, a couple weeks ago, I went to a Harry Potter festival that took place near my house. I grew up reading Harry Potter. Actually, my family would get together in the evenings before we went to bed and read it together as a family. Actually, one of the librarians in my elementary school or middle school, I can't remember, recommended it to my mom as a book that I would like to read. So I read all the books throughout my life. In fact, for the last book, I went to the midnight release and stood in line and got it, and then had it read within 24 hours of buying it. I've reread several of the books multiple times, I've seen all of the movies, I get into really anything online that's Harry Potter. I will say I'm not one of these like super really intense Harry Potter fans that know like what page and what book certain things happen, but it's just a book that I enjoyed reading and I have a lot of good memories from it. In Harry Potter, my absolute favorite character, no surprise, is Hermione Granger, and it's because I've always felt like I'm exactly like her. So I'm gonna give you a couple reasons why, but first I need to get into the right outfit. Ah yes, much better. So yeah, I really identified a lot with Hermione Granger when I was reading the books and watching the movies for a lot of very good reasons. Number one, and probably the biggest reason I actually got into the books, is that I love reading. For the majority of my life, I've constantly been reading books. I actually don't ever remember a time where I wasn't in the middle of a book. I've always had a bookshelf in my room. I've always been reading through books and rereading through books, and when I didn't have any more books to read, I'd go get one or I'd ask for one. There were multiple times when I was a kid and we'd go to the mall and the only place I really wanted to go was the bookstore. And it was kind of the best moment in my life when I realized that I could buy myself my own books. Second of all, I really like cats. Like if I was Hermione Granger, no doubt I would have picked Crookshanks instead of an owl. Like, absolutely. And I would have defended that cat all the time. Like, if she had attacked Scabbers, there's no way it would have been my cat's fault. In fact, even my cat now looks a little bit like Crookshanks, even though she's not even really my cat. I do have some pretty funny anecdotes that I feel like happened in my life that probably would have happened to Hermione Granger too. Like, when I was in 3rd grade, we had this thing called Kids Teach Day where you would bring something into class that you were going to teach the whole class. And so one of my classmates brought in dirt, which is like the little pudding cups with the Oreo cookies on the top, and he was going to show how to make it. And when he started his presentation, he said something about, hey, does anybody know what dirt is? Obviously trying to get people to be like, oh, it's the stuff on the ground, blah blah blah. I promptly raised my hand as high as I could, and he called on me, and I said, oh, it's this delicious dessert made of blah 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 blah, because I was so proud of myself, and I never thought that, oh, maybe this would like ruin his whole presentation and he was looking for a specific thing. I was like, no, I've outsmarted everybody, I know exactly what this is, so I'm gonna tell them. 3rd grade. And same year, same Kids Teach Day. What did I teach while everyone else was bringing in desserts? I gave the class a lecture on color and wavelengths of light and put a comb in a box and asked them what color it was and then told them why it was black because no light was currently being reflected off of it. Probably one of my proudest Hermione Granger moments. I also feel like if I had had the opportunity to have a time turner, I would have taken so many more classes in high school. If I had had a time turner, I would have taken all of the classes. Also, always picked Rupert Grint over Daniel Radcliffe, so that was definitely meant to be. Anyway, reading those books and watching those movies, Hermione felt like the girl that I had been and was currently and was going to be in the future, and I just felt a deep sense of connection with the character, and so I've always loved her. And it's incredibly fun to dress up like her too. Let me know your thoughts on the books, the movie, who you liked, who you didn't like, I don't know, anything you want to do, let's have a conversation. Cool. I'll see y'all later. I contemplated doing this whole video in my British accent that I learned from Emma Watson playing Hermione Granger, but I decided better of it. I'm going to bed before either of you come up with another idea to get us all killed. Or worse, expelled. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa. Bum ba da dum ba dum. Bum bum ba da dum bum bum.